Welcome to my cockpit. I'm your host and narrator, Captain Karneth Zulvelen Kor, from the planet Zorex in the Tyson Cluster. Relax with me as I take you on exciting voyages across the galaxy. Unleash your science fiction fantasies with these action-packed tales, featuring mature and provocative adventures. Viewer discretion is advised. Chapter 1. The Valsupians' Gamble. The Stellar Alliance was a vast and ancient federation, spanning hundreds of star systems and housing a total of 18 intelligent known species. Each species controlled a sector of star systems surrounding their home world. Nonetheless, 70% of the galaxy still remained unexplored. The Alliance was established to maintain balance, but not all within it sought peace. The Kreliyians, a warlike and aggressive species, held a dominant position within the Federation, using their strength to impose their will on weaker civilizations. Standing over 10 feet tall, they had stone-like gray skin with hardened bone protrusions. They were the embodiment of brute force and commanded fear wherever they advanced. The Trocheols, their insectoid allies, were equally formidable in their own right. Smaller than the Kreliyians, standing at around 5 feet, their exoskeletal bodies were built for speed and cunning. They possessed 2 pairs of arms, one of which could neatly fold into their torsos, allowing them to move with surprising agility. The Trocheols and Kreliyians had once waged a bloody war that lasted centuries, leaving entire planets uninhabitable. It was only through intervention by the Stellar Alliance that a fragile peace had been established between them. Now they formed a brutal coalition, using their influence to strong-arm weaker species into submission. The Valsupians were one of the last civilizations admitted into the Stellar Alliance. The Valsupians were a blue-skinned, humanoid species, standing at an average of 7.5 feet tall. While physically weaker than the Kreliyians, they were highly advanced and technologically brilliant. Their intelligence and diplomatic prowess had allowed them to rise within the Federation's ranks, but their idealism was fading. For centuries, they had watched as the Kreliyians and Trocheols abused their positions, exploiting weaker races for their resources, while the Stellar Alliance turned a blind eye. But the moment that truly galvanized the Valsupians came when they discovered Earth. The Valsupians had been exploring the outer reaches of the Milky Way when they first encountered humans in the year 2132. When they observed human behavior, they were captivated. Here was a race that displayed both extreme aggression and deep empathy. They were capable of both great violence and great compassion. Unlike the Kreliyians and Trocheols, humanity held within them the potential to strike a true balance between strength and diplomacy in the Alliance. Earth could become a potential powerful ally for Valsupia. The Valsupians made the unprecedented decision to keep Earth's discovery a secret. They knew that if the Alliance became aware of humanity, Earth would be seen as a young, inferior civilization, ripe for exploitation. And so, for hundreds of years, the Valsupians carefully and secretly guided Earth's development, sharing technology in subtle, gradual ways, ensuring humanity's growth without drawing attention from the Stellar Alliance. They taught humans how to construct advanced spacefaring vessels, how to harness energy efficiently, and most importantly, how to prepare for the inevitable day when they would have to defend themselves from other galactic species. By the year 2852, Earth was no longer a fledgling civilization. Humanity had mastered hyperspeed travel and had established a significant presence throughout their solar system. Earth had colonies on Mars and Titan, with space stations in orbit around Saturn and others dispersed throughout the solar system. They built mining stations within the asteroid belt, research facilities on Europa, and sprawling space colonies in orbit around the outer planets. The crowning achievement of Earth's progress was the construction of their first Void Gate. The Void Gate was a monumental leap made possible through the guidance of the Valsupians and supplies of Zolari ore. The gate was an artificial wormhole that allowed travel over vast distances, almost instantaneously. The Void Gate technology allowed transit to any other Void Gate in Stellar Alliance space, as long as the unique sequence code was supplied for the specific gate. For security reasons, each species did not allow direct entry through Void Gates in their homeworld star system, unless the travelers were direct homeworlders or official Stellar Alliance delegates. This meant vessels traveling into a species-controlled system still had to traverse great distances to reach trading stations and orbital shipping ports. Since Earth had not established a base in interstellar space beyond its Oort cloud, their Void Gate was constructed near Pluto for added security. Additionally, since Earth was not a part of the Stellar Alliance, they only had access to one specific gate in a Valsupian-controlled star system. To help prepare humanity for their introduction to the galactic stage, the Valsupians introduced them to a peaceful species known as the Zolarians. Had 6 appendages, their bottom 4 used for fluid mobility. They were known for producing raw materials for void gates and high-quality mood stimulants. As Earth's and Zolari's bonds grew, they decided to solidify their relationship through trade treaties. With Valsupian assistance, Earth negotiated a deal with the Zolari. In exchange for Zolarians' assistance with continued technological advancements, Earth would provide ores and minerals from its asteroid mining operations. For their assistance, Earth would still have to obtain Zolarians' ore directly through Valsupia for the next century. With Earth now strong enough to stand on its own, the Valsupians believed the time had come to officially reveal their existence to the Stellar Alliance. Chapter 2. Welcome to the Galaxy. The Great Hall of the Stellar Alliance was an imposing structure, a massive citadel that hung within neutral space, serving as the heart of interstellar diplomacy. Multiple delegates and ambassadors from all 18 known species gathered within its immense main chamber, each seated according to their sector's standing within the Federation. When the Valsupians formally presented Earth's representatives to the Assembly, the reaction was noticeably hostile. The Kreliyians and Trocheols spoke forcefully, not just against Earth's application to the Alliance, but at their mere presence. Overlord Phalanx, a towering Kreliyan representative, stepped forward, his glowing eyes narrowing with disdain.
Phalanx sneered. These creatures are nothing more than puppets with crude tools enhanced by their masters, the Valsupians.
The chamber hall murmured with approval. The Overlord paced dramatically and proclaimed, "These simian peasants lacked the intelligence, individual discipline, and strength to advance on their own without their Valsupian masters." Countless beings looked mockingly at the human delegation. The delegate from Trocheo quickly followed suit. He stood, echoing Overlord Phalanx's previous declarations. The delegate stated, "A species so young, so inexperienced, cannot be entrusted with the power, the superior knowledge of this great alliance." Privately, however, the two species held different concerns. Through their vast spy networks, the Kreliyians and Trocheols had uncovered troubling details about Earth's potential economic impact to their vast black market productions. They feared that if humanity joined the Alliance, their operations would be diluted and disrupted. Earth's adaptability and unchecked ambition made them a wild card, one that could upend the delicate balance of their underground economies, making Valsupia and Earth an economic powerhouse. Keeping humanity out was not just about power, it was about protecting their most profitable secrets and resources. The final vote was cast, and Earth's membership was denied, along with additional Void Gate privileges. The announcement sent shockwaves through Valsupia's political structure. But for Earth, the worst was yet to come. With their existence now officially revealed, Earth's trade routes were soon threatened by coordinated attacks. Cargo and transport ships traveling to and from the Valsupian Void Gate connections were raided. The Kreliyians and Trocheols never declared war outright. They didn't need to. They let their mercenaries and private raiders do their dirty work, attacking under false identity signatures and leaving no direct energy trails. For 2 years, Earth fought an invisible enemy, always one step behind, never able to prove who was orchestrating these relentless attacks. Then came the event that changed everything: the destruction of transport cargo barge Sequoia 19. Before the raiders breached the outer hull of Sequoia 19, they had preemptively made sure to deactivate all emergency transponding signals. Armed with advanced weaponry, they boarded the ship with brutal efficiency and slaughtered every life form in sight, sparing no one. As the last life was extinguished, they made their way to the cargo hold, where they hauled away the raw ore that Earth had been secretly procuring directly from Jolari, breaking their agreement with Valsupia. The ore was earmarked for the construction of a third void gate, outside of the eastern sector of Earth's Oort ring. Before departing, the raiders ensured there would be no hidden survivors by disabling the ship's life support systems. 479 souls on the Sequoia were lost. 475 of them were human. Chapter 3: The Origins of a Commander. Marcus Connolly had always been destined for battle. Born in the underground arcologies of New Detroit, a sprawling city built within the crust of Earth's moon, he grew up surrounded by the remnants of old conflicts. His father, Ethan Connolly, had been a decorated war strategist during the Martian Reclamation War, and his influence had shaped Marcus into a warrior long before he ever stepped into a cockpit. From an early age, Marcus was trained to think tactically, understanding not just the mechanics of war, but the psychology behind it. By the age of 16, he had already logged thousands of hours in combat simulations, outperforming seasoned pilots twice his age. When he entered the United Earth Fleet Academy, he was regarded as a prodigy, his instincts sharp, his reflexes unmatched. During his early years in the fleet, Marcus became known for his unorthodox tactics, often outmaneuvering enemy squadrons through sheer unpredictability. He quickly ascended the ranks, earning a place among Earth's elite space pilots. His defining moment came during the Battle of Midas IV, when a rogue band of raiders attacked a heavy Earth cargo barge that was transporting vital resources and military materials. Leading a squadron of interceptors, Marcus devised an audacious strategy. Using his knowledge of gravitational currents, he and his squad lured the enemy ships into the dense upper orbit of the gas giant Midas IV. As the raiders chased the squadron, Marcus then had them veer off before the effects of the planet's gravitational pull persuaded. He lured the raiders in closer, his breath steady. His eyes blinked slowly as he trusted his instincts and his energy. He felt a connection with the gravitational current, as if he was settling in with its flow. At the critical moment, he tensed. His eyes squinted as he pulled above the current and then into a reverse thrust deceleration, masterfully maneuvering his ship out of the enemy's target lock while simultaneously locking onto 3 separate raiders. With a precise timed barrage, he destroyed all 3 vessels in rapid succession, a feat of aerial combat that had never been executed. His actions left the remaining raiders in disarray, allowing the rest of his squadron to easily eliminate them. The battle ended in a decisive victory, and word of Connolly's legendary maneuvers spread throughout Fleet Command. He was rightfully promoted to an elite security command, tasked with protecting Earth's vital high-priority transports from incursions. Standing at an imposing 6 feet 5 inches, Connolly was the embodiment of both strength and charisma. His muscular frame, honed through years of rigorous training and combat experience, radiated power and confidence. A chiseled jawline, deep-set eyes that burned with determination, and a commanding presence made him a figure of both admiration and intimidation. His short-cropped black hair framed his masculine, handsome features, and his smooth baritone voice carried the authority of a leader who had earned his rank through action rather than privilege. There was an undeniable magnetism about him, a presence that drew people in, whether allies or rivals. While his reputation as a formidable pilot and tactician was well known, his calm demeanor, paired with an intensity that hinted at a deep well of ambition, made him someone who could inspire trust and loyalty. Chapter 4. Marcus gets a new arm. The war between Earth and its enemies had taken a toll on their fleet. Marcus was now the head of an elite security detail, responsible for safeguarding Earth's trade routes from raiders. After countless engagements, his squad had been granted a short leave. Marcus and some of his squad mates had chosen to spend 2 days on Jalari, one of the few places in 4 star systems where a soldier could momentarily forget the ever-present specter of war. The southern hemisphere of the Jalarian homeworld was a marvelous and luminous oceanic paradise where sprawling marble-like cities rose from the water atop ancient monoliths. It was a place of peace and pleasure where every vice could be indulged. For Marcus, the highlight of his visit was the Azure Haven, a renowned brothel where even the most battle-hardened soldiers could find comfort. Marcus pulsed with anticipation of being able to party the night away in the Azure Haven's bathing pool temples. The last morning on his leave, Marcus sat on the edge of the bed, staring at his reflection in the floor-length mirror. The dim ambient glow of the room highlighted the scars on his chest, a silent testament to the battles he had fought. Behind him, 2 Valsupians, a male and a female, slept soundly, their smooth blue skin glistening under the soft light. He allowed himself to smile, a smile of gratefulness. His datapad silently blinked, displaying his upcoming shuttle departure. It was time to return to duty. The military transport cruiser the squadron boarded had a scheduled stop before its final destination at Earth Command. They would pause at one of Earth's secure relay hubs. These hubs were the lifeline of Earth's star system operations, essential for travelers and colonies. Though heavily armored and escorted by security squadrons, these transport cruisers were hot targets for raiders due to frequently carrying repair supplies for all types of machinery. As Marcus settled into his seat for the long trip, he felt an unease flow through his energy. Traveling at over 2,700 miles per hour, the cargo cruiser was about halfway through a 25-hour journey. Suddenly, the captain's voice announced over the comms, "Unknown signatures detected. Multiple contacts approaching fast. Brace for possible hostile interactions," he said. As the cruiser prepared for evasive actions, the first explosion rocked the vessel. Marcus was thrown against the bulkhead as alarms blared throughout the ship. Through the viewport, he saw the lead escort jet spiral out of control, its hull breached and venting gas. Marcus thought, had they traveled straight into an ambush? Another explosion erupted near the ship, sending metal debris spiraling into space. The transport shuddered violently, and Marcus barely managed to stay on his feet as the bulkhead nearest him exploded. He was thrown to the ground, and pain shot through his body, his vision blurring. The air hissed. Emergency shields activated, repressurizing the cabin. Looking down, his left arm was shredded by the blast, reduced to little more than exposed muscle and fragmented bone. As Marcus drifted, the captain's voice echoed over the comms, steady but urgent. Security reinforcements in the vicinity were almost in the clear. Marcus closed his eyes. Marcus awoke in a medical facility aboard Earth Orbital Station A7, his vision hazy as he adjusted to consciousness. His body felt heavier than usual, and when he turned his head, he saw his missing arm. What remained was encased in a transparent, fluid-filled biotube that extended from his bicep down to the place where his hand should have been. The liquid inside pulsed with faint blue energy as microscopic nanites worked to reconstruct the damaged nerves and muscle tissue. He flexed his incomplete fingers instinctively. The nerves and blood vessels twitched slightly, the neural link still adapting to his body. The door slid open, revealing Admiral James Gavins, followed by two doctors. He approached the bedside with a hardened yet measured expression. "Good to see you awake, Connolly," he said. "Your neural grafting is still in progress, so don't expect full function of your arm for a while. It'll take a few weeks before the transfusion is complete." Marcus looked at the biotube, focusing on his reconstructed blood vessels visible in the liquid, and mumbled, "It feels strange." Admiral Gavins nodded in agreement. "That's expected. Once the process is finished, your arm won't just be as good as new, it'll be better." He gestured to one of the doctors, who activated a holographic display that projected into the middle of the room. The hologram detailed the cybernetic structures and features that were to be integrated within Marcus's new arm. Notably, it functions as an advanced data retrieval interface, capable of uplinking to any allied system, seamlessly collecting, analyzing, and rendering real-time data in both internal optical displays and external projection formats. You'll be able to extract, upload, and manipulate data on the fly, Admiral Gavins explained. That, along with its reinforced alloy, enhanced grip strength, and tactical applications.
The Admiral smirked. "You've been upgraded, motherfucker."
"But I didn't come here just to talk about your new jack-off machine." "Give me the room," the Admiral commanded. As the hologram closed and the medical room cleared, the Admiral took a seat next to Marcus. Marcus's stomach tightened. He already knew what was coming. "The pilots fought like hell to get you all out of there," the Admiral said. "Two of them didn't make it. And there's more," Admiral Gavins continued. "A couple of days after you got here, transport barge Sequoia 19 was destroyed. 479 souls were on board. The raiders took Zolari ore we were stockpiling in preparation for an undisclosed third void gate." Silence hung in the air. Marcus inhaled deeply, closing his eyes for a moment before reopening them, and said, "Then we're out of time." Gavins nodded. "Earth is shifting its entire focus to defense and war preparation. The Kreliyians, the Trocheols, and the Stellar Alliance think we're weak. We're gonna prove them sons of bitches wrong." He tapped the datapad and placed it beside Marcus's bed.
"Study up, Connolly. You're about to become the tip, and we're going to shove it in."
Chapter 5. Revelations. If Earth was to continue its momentous progress, its growing colonies, mining operations, and orbital research stations, it had to conduct an overhaul of their entire defense systems. For his experience as a decorated pilot, his strategic mind and ability to rally experts across disciplines, once he recovered, Marcus was given a pivotal command role in Earth Systems defense strategy. Connolly wasted no time in organizing offensive and defensive initiatives that would change the way Earth handled external threats forever. The upcoming conflicts would test his mettle, but one thing was certain: Marcus Connolly was prepared to meet any challenge head-on. He was tasked with assembling a coalition of top scientists, computer engineers, and defense researchers at a high-security research facility on Mars. There, under his leadership, advancements in quantum warfare, automated defense grids, and cybernetic combat systems were being developed at an unprecedented pace. Knowing it would be a primary target asset in any large-scale assault, the first priority was to triple security around the Void Gate. During a high-level meeting at the research facility, Marcus was in the middle of reviewing security drone defense formations when a priority alert icon flashed across the interface of his cybernetic arm. Marcus excused himself from the meeting, stepping into a private chamber where he activated the decryption. A holographic interface materialized, displaying a series of sound waves across the screen as the message played aloud. Sealcore's voice carried through, heavy with tension, requesting an immediate and secret meeting at Orbital Station K3. The urgency in his voice confirmed what Marcus already suspected. This was bigger than a routine intelligence drop. Marcus rendezvoused with Sealcore aboard Orbital Station K3. As he entered the briefing room, he took in the sight of his old friend. Sealcore was seated, his usual composed demeanor betrayed by the slight unease in his posture. His patterned reptilian skin seemed duller than usual. A long, intricately carved smoking pipe rested in one of his appendages. He took a slow drag, exhaling a thick cloud through his nostrils before offering a warm smile. "I am glad you were able to receive me on such short notice," Sealcore said, his voice filled with an uncharacteristic tension. "One of our interstellar space communication facilities was caught off guard when a passing comet in the vicinity, which we thought was harmless, suddenly exploded. The energy waves briefly interfered with the station's system, causing it to pick up an encrypted transmission between a Valsupian delegation travel vessel and a Kreliyan warship in deep space." Marcus's expression darkened as Sealcore continued. "While Valsupia is Earth's ally, not all members of its governing class share empathy for Earth's plight. Many feel that Valsupia has wasted resources defending your people, drawing unwanted and hostile attention." Sealcore stated sternly, "Valsupia was not happy with Solari and Earth's direct trade of ore that you needed for your secret third void gate." Sealcore, eyes heavy, he informed. "The transmission we intercepted, it was a Valsupian providing the Kreliyians with Earth's void gate sequence codes." Marcus remained composed but felt the weight of the revelation settle over him. He reached for the data stack Sealcore slid across the table. Without hesitation, Marcus uploaded the data into his cybernetic arm. A holographic projection flared to life, displaying a sound wave analysis of the transmission. As he tapped the holo interface, the recording played aloud, confirming Sealcore's words. Sealcore then proudly produced a second object, a memory cube, its glow faint but pulsing with a rhythmic energy. He placed it in Marcus's palm. "This," Sealcore whispered, "is a gift from my people. The Jolari do not build weapons of war. However, that does not mean we lack the knowledge or capabilities to. Our archives contain technologies that were designed but never built. We have chosen peace for centuries, but the knowledge on that cube could alter the balance of power in the Stellar Alliance. We believe Earth may be the force that restores stability to the galaxy." Marcus studied the cube, sensing its significance. "What exactly is on this?" he asked. "The means to weaponize Earth's computer systems beyond anything currently known. Your military technology will advance in ways you cannot yet imagine. With this, you can create defenses that even the Kreliyians cannot counter." Marcus met Sealcore's gaze and nodded. "Earth owes you and the Zolari our eternal gratitude." Arrangements were quickly made for Sealcore to be transported to a safe house on Earth under military escort. As Marcus returned to his quarters aboard his ship, he activated an encrypted priority channel. The high commanders were immediately put on alert, and a top-level emergency meeting was scheduled upon his arrival. Following the new intel from Sealcore, Earth defense were in hypergear. Through additional channels, Earth learned that after the Kreliyians obtained Earth's Void Gate sequence codes, they had not shared them with their strongest ally, the Trocheals, as they wanted sole control over Earth's territories. If successful, they would strip Earth systems of its resources, claim its strategic positions, and establish themselves as the supreme empire, fulfilling what they saw as their species' religious prophecy. Resetting or changing the Void Gate sequence codes would shut down the gate for 3 days, too long for Earth's strategic operations. Worse, any new codes generated and provided to Valsupia or Zolari would likely be leaked again to the Kreliyians. Per Seal Corps' intel, the attack from the Kreliyians was coming within the next 8 to 10 months, but Earth planned on being ready in half that time. Their secret weapon, the Zolari Memory Cube. The Memory Cube contained ancient knowledge of fractional second photon computing technology. Unlike standard quantum computing, which operated in multiple states simultaneously, fractional second photon computing manipulated light frequency direction in fractional attoseconds. This allowed quantum entanglement to operate at an exponentially faster rate, with pinpointing a possible solution to an equation within specific planes of existence. The implications were staggering. It meant Earth could disable any known computer system in the Stellar Alliance. But more than that, FSPC computing provided a breakthrough in stealth technology. While testing experimental upgrades to escort interceptors, researchers made startling advancements. The FSPC's ability to channel the light frequency meant that ships could phase or skip through different light spectrums. This revolutionized Earth's stealth technology. Ships didn't just cloak, they existed within a different light time, effectively rendering them invisible and undetectable. Dr. Philip Santiago, Earth's leading technology military research officer, was at the forefront of these developments. A specialist in quantum mechanics and computing, he was instrumental in unlocking the potential of the Zolari's hidden technology. Working alongside Marcus, he developed strategic attack and defense applications for Earth's new advanced orbital drone battalion. Dr. Santiago also assisted in the completion of the Mars Solar Lensing Array facility, which was capable of harnessing raw solar energy for defense applications. Earth's defensive coalition was transforming into a force unlike any the galaxy had ever seen. The Kreliyians believe we're weak, Santiago said to Marcus during one of their strategy sessions. They'll expect us to react like lower simians, but when they arrive, we'll devour them like predators. The Kreliyians and Trochios conspired and killed over 400 humans. Now the Kreliyan invasion was coming directly to the human star system. However, Earth was not a nervous civilization with concerns of being conquered. It was a rejuvenated force, ready to disrupt and throw the galaxy into chaos. Chapter 6: The Unmanned War. The invasion began over 4.5 billion miles from Earth, near the Void Gate in Pluto's sector. The day of reckoning had arrived. The Kreliyians had come. The first sign of the attack came from the monitoring platform stationed near the Void Gate. The massive gate had received activation codes from what appeared to be both Valsupian and Zolarian vessels. The wormhole's surface flickered, its energy vortex pulsating as unseen objects passed through. When the monitoring station attempted to hail the unknown arrivals, demanding identification, their attempts at contact was cut short. A blinding explosion tore through the structure, scattering its remnants into space. A Kreliyan fleet proceeded forward under full stealth. Hours later, the fleet of 70 Kreliyan warships, each with a supporting squadron of fighters, materialized deep within the solar system, their formidable hulls bristling with weaponry. They wasted no time obliterating several of Earth's orbiting security platforms as they advanced. Leading them was Overlord Phalanx. He opened a channel, his voice carried across Earth's communication frequencies with a venomous proclamation. Simian peasants, your defiance ends today. Your feeble defenses will be obliterated. Your cities will burn, and your people will kneel before the might of the Kreliyan Empire. Not only had the Krelians entered into a trap, unbeknownst to the Overlord, they were Earth's experimental test subjects for their new enhanced defense systems. From the shadows near Titan's orbit, Earth's space stations, equipped with the latest stealth technology, lie in wait. In space, drones sat dormant, silently awaiting their mark. As the fleet entered the space around Titan, the drones came alive. Hundreds of drones moved with precision and synchronization, programmed to seek and attach themselves directly to the enemy's ships. On board the Kreliyians' vessels, their threat sensors blared. As the drones approached the Kreliyan energy shields, they emitted concentrated high-frequency pulses, passing through the Kreliyan traditional defenses and attaching themselves to their hulls. Once attached, the drones again emitted their concentrated high-frequency pulses. The violent oscillations completely disrupted the Kreliyan shielding systems, leaving them completely exposed. Then, in rapid succession, the drones detonated. Blasts, not powerful enough to destroy the warships outright, but strong enough to damage exhaust manifolds and communication structures. The moment the explosions occurred, Earth's automated orbital stations around Titan engaged. Their updated targeting arrays, refined by Dr. Santiago's team, aligned perfectly. The station's kinetic railguns unleashed a barrage of armor-piercing steel rods. These rods were unique in that their molecular structures were reinforced with osmium via quantum infusion, making them harder than diamonds. Additionally, the rod's cores housed gravitational implosion modules. Fired at hyperspeed, they easily penetrated the Kreliyan ships. Once inside, the rod cores ignited, causing implosions, then powerful expanding concussion waves. However, the Kreliyians were no strangers to warfare. Their AI-driven combat systems quickly adapted, recalibrating shield frequencies to counteract the kinetic railgun attacks. Even though their shields could now deflect the physical projectiles, the resulting gravitational implosions and concussion waves from the rod's explosions rattled the fleet, causing ships to break formation. The Kreliyians regained their defensive integrity and retaliated, unleashing a devastating wave of missile fire. Their starfighters' plasma bombardments took out the railguns and other defenses. Within hours, Earth orbital space facilities were located and destroyed. Nonetheless, the fleet had paid a heavy toll. Marcus was overseeing the battle from Earth's lunar command station. He was surrounded by Earth's team of specialists and military personnel. He turned to Dr. Santiago and demanded, "Damage report." Santiago said proudly. 28 Kreliyan ships were obliterated. 4 retreated back through the Void Gate due to critical damages. 38 vessels remain, including the command ship. The Kreliyan fleet wasn't aware that Earth's defense stations, including those stationed at the Void Gate, were unmanned and being controlled remotely. As the remainder of Phalanx's fleet neared the Red Planet, Group 2 of Earth's new drones emerged from Mars's moon Phobos. These drones were different in design and function from those of the first engagement. Their purpose was to serve as a distraction and deflection. Smaller in size and operating autonomously, these drones mimicked natural insect defensive behaviors. Phobos acting as their hive, they swarmed the Kreliyan fleet aggressively. The fleet, not able to lock on to any specific targets, tactically broke their formation to divide the swarm. Overlord Phalanx's direct formation was reduced to 12 ships, his vessel being the most massive. The splinter formation drew the bulk of the swarm's attention. As the Kreliyians attempted to regroup, Earth's next shiny toy was activated. The Martian Solar Array System, a colossal structure designed to harness the raw energy of the sun, aligned itself for a concentrated energy discharge. As technicians entered data commands on control panels, the vast plane of mirrored lenses across the Mars horizon adjusted, focusing a beam of pure, concentrated solar energy across the battlefield. The beam struck the Kreliyians' larger fleet formation. Ships caught in its direct path were incinerated instantly. Those nearby suffered catastrophic failures as their reactors overloaded and exploded. The command room on Earth's lunar station erupted in cheers. Marcus looked at Dr. Santiago and stated, "Report. 26 vessels destroyed. The other ships are disabled." Santiago smiled. Marcus replied, "Release the Sentinels." With his fleet decimated, Overlord Phalanx was left reeling, with his remaining ships' emergency backup relay systems attempting to engage. His fleet was completely exposed. They needed to retreat. However, Earth revealed their final move. From Mars's orbit, 100 of Earth's Sentinel drones rose to meet the fleet. The drones maneuvered around the remaining 12 Kreliyan ships. Once in position, they formed a perfect sphere, encapsulating the fleet. Together, they discharged their transitional quantum computing signals, powered by Earth's new fractional second photon computing technology. The Sentinel drones hijacked the Kreliyan AI systems. In mere moments, Earth had full control over the remaining ships. Most importantly, Overlord Phalanx's command vessel. From the lunar command station, Marcus instructed, "Download everything. The Kreliyan battle tactics, vessel schematics, their homeworld's weapon programs, energy replication blueprints, everything was now in Earth's possession." But Marcus wasn't done yet. With the defeated Kreliyan fleet now under Earth's control, Marcus seized the opportunity to send a message. Earth commandeered Phalanx's communication systems, transmitting directly to the Kreliyan homeworld and the Trocheol Empire. Adjoining deep space relay facilities made sure the transmission was carried to the rest of the galaxy. The Stellar Alliance and all its member species bore witness as Marcus executed his final act. As soon as Overlord Phalanx's image appeared on the monitors, he screamed, "Do you humans think you can?" Marcus, now in full control, stated, "Mute the volume." Phalanx was taken aback. Marcus commanded, "All life support and gravity systems on the command ship, shut them down." All the airlocks instantly opened. The air inside the command ship immediately vented. Hundreds of roaring Kreliyians were silenced. More were sucked out into the vacuum of space. The entire crew perished within moments. Overlord Phalanx's facial expression, frozen as his body and that of his crew, floated in view of the monitors. For the remaining 11 ships, Marcus gave a different order. Reactivate their propulsion systems, direct them toward the sun, maximum speed. Within moments, the ship's engines ignited, their navigation systems recalibrated. One by one, once reoriented, the ships accelerated at over 18,000 miles per hour toward Earth's star. The Kreliyan crew, now aware of their fate, began screaming in terror as their vessels advanced towards certain destruction, their panicked and final cries being broadcast and heard by the entire galaxy. 20 seconds later, the ships vanished into the sun's fiery embrace. From Earth's orbital stations, long-range cameras captured the sight of the enemy fleet disintegrating in the solar inferno. A moment of silence fell across the lunar command station. Then, Marcus turned to Dr. Santiago and stated, "Format all open communication channels." He wanted to make sure his message was configured to be understood by every species in the Alliance. What you have just witnessed was a fraction of Earth's true strength, a fraction of our ingenuity, a fraction of our resilience, and a fraction of our capacity for violence. While showing no mercy, we just eradicated a massive war fleet from the mighty Kreliyan Empire, while not losing a single human life. Earth stepped into the stars, seeking peace and mutual prosperity. In return, we were met with hostility and bloodshed. If what you just witnessed wasn't plainly understood, let me say it with clarity. Don't fuck with Earth. Please feel free to leave a comment, like, or subscribe. It helps share this story with other science fiction listeners. To view other videos, click the thumbnails on the screen or visit the channel. As always, thank you for watching.